Hi everyone, another week and another WARNO devlog. Admittedly, I got slightly excited when I saw the title of this one, but it's not perhaps quite as exciting as I'd initially thought. This is all about the Army General campaign missions. However, it's titled Army General Update, and my immediate thought was, ooh, excitement. They're actually going to tell us that it's on the way or that the next update to the game, but they don't. So I'm dampening any expectations of that now, because that's what I thought when I saw it, and it's not. But never mind, I know everyone's very excited for the Army General campaign stuff. Now, basically, in last week's devblog, they lifted the veil on some of the solo play content, which was the tactical operations, and today they want to bring us some news about the long-awaited Army General mode. In earlier devblogs, they'd given us a sneak peek of the two huge maps, which are the setting for the various scenarios, one centered on the Fulda-Frankfurt axis, and the other on the Castle-Paderborn axis. They go on to say, what have we been up to since then? Why the delay? Well, don't worry, we haven't been idle, far from it. So a quick reminder, what is Army General? Let's get back to the basics for those who might have joined our community recently, or maybe haven't been playing the previous games before. So Army General mode will feature a turn-based wargame campaign, playable in single-player, versus, or cooperatively. You'll be able to play on massive maps with a host of different formations and units, simulating a particularly diverse or large-scale operation. We will use historical order of battles, with each division portraying what they were in 1989, including corps or army assets. These orders of battle, formation structures as they're also known, will be as realistic and accurate down to the platoon level as possible. In comparison, Steel Division 2 only went down to the company level. So how many campaigns? Well, we've planned for 4, but are considering more by creating smaller, additional scenarios focused on specific theatres, timeframes or units of the battlefield. See those as Army General snapshots with more specific intermediary objectives. But where is it? Well, as of right now, we've got a functioning campaign featuring the early stages of the Soviet assault on Fulda and through to the Kinzig Valley, based on the Steel Division 2 Army General mode. Now, although it works well as it is, we do not consider it satisfactory enough to be released, they say, because they want it to be more than just porting SD2's Army General mode to WARNO. They want to improve it, they want a new experience, as well as explore new movement and combat mechanics. Right now, starting over again is where we can try new stuff. Now, I'd like to clarify, I'm not quite sure why they say starting over again. I think what they mean is they're sort of going back now and trying new bits and pieces now that they've got the base game working correctly, if you see what I mean. I don't think they mean they're scrapping everything and starting from scratch. The next subheading here is Battle Plan. One of the main improvements from SD2 lies within the Battle Plan phase. That is once combat is engaged, when the player selects which of his battalions will take part. In SD2, we initially allowed only 3 battalions to take part in combat. We felt they were too few, and increased it to 5, which some considered too much. In WARNO, the battle plan will be split into several roles, meaning all battalions won't be competing for the same slots as they were in SD2. Battle slots will be divided into 4 categories. Combat battalions. These will be given 2 slots for either or both armoured and infantry. Artillery support can only be filled with 1 artillery battalion. Air support can only be filled with 1 close air support squadron, and auxiliary support will get 1 slot to be filled with either recon, engineer, HQ or any battalion not included in the previous one. Interesting. Now, I've never actually played the Steel Division 2 campaign, so I don't fully know where all of this comes from. I have played one of the campaigns in Wargame Red Dragon, but I understand that the Army General in Steel Division 2 is very different. Really, I should go and play that at some point soon, just to get an idea of what it's like. But anyhow, I digress, let us go back. Therefore, most of the battles should be fought with 3 to 4 battalions, while only the biggest ones will field a whole 5 when all types of units are represented. And that way, the often shunned auxiliary battalions from SD2 will get a bigger role, since they won't be competing for the same slots with more powerful combat battalions. The next subheading is Air Support. Another improvement we're bringing concerns the management of air assets. Unlike ground or hovering units, the air squadrons will only be featuring a fragment of their real strength. However, they will retain it throughout the campaign, the balance of force representing the planes in reserve or in short repair to replenish it. I think what they mean is that to balance out the fact that they will be as strong as they are at the start to the end is that they will have downtime. So squadrons won't be assigned permanently either. At the start of every turn, each side will be assigned a number of available air missions depending on the level of air superiority. You can use them in your phase or keep them for an enemy one, but they'll be removed anyway at the end of the turn, giving way to others in the next turn. That reminds me of, I think, Wargame Red Dragon's campaign, where air assets go back to base after they've been enacted or after they've been used. I don't think they stay on the map in that area. They go back to their airport, ready to be called out again in the future. So I assume they mean something like that. Next up is strategic choices. So we want the players to be more involved in devising campaign strategy. While in Steel Division 2 players would acquire reinforcements with action points, in WARNO reinforcements will be fixed, arriving according to a schedule. Some reinforcements though can be accessed through strategic decisions, and thus not all at once. For example, as a NATO commander planning a counterattack against the tip of the Soviet offensive, would you rather be granted the entire 82nd Airborne Division to be dropped behind enemy lines, or the powerful 12th Panzer Division to strike its southern flank? Other such choices will be given, some involving the use of technological, satellite, spy plane, things like that, or human, sabotage, special forces, etc. assets, basically various different assets that you might not get in the normal game, with immediate effect on the strategic level. So basically, it's going to mess with the gameplay map a bit, which I think is nice. It's nice that they're adding something in that will have more of an effect. And well, that is everything for this week. A quick reminder that tonight is going to be this month's Friday Night WARNO with Protoss over on the SD League channel, so please do remember to check that out. As ever, I will stick a couple of images from Eugen's Instagram at the end of the video for those who don't have Instagram, but otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. And stay tuned later today and over the weekend for some casts of this month's tournament.